Oh, please, usiniharibie mood. Leo nasikia tu fiti, leo staki umtiti. Oh, please, usiniharibie mood. Ile umesikia kunihusu, usiniambie tu pia kuhusu. I just got paid. I just got laid. Nimereconcile na be. I'm happy. Jana kalikuwa kamenuka. Vitu zake alikuwa amepaka. Maze nilikuwa nimeshtuka. Lakini leo bibi amerelax. Amenisamehe tu ya jana. Klande alipiga kama tumelala. Mita leo tunaenda ulevi. Leo sitaki kurisk. Leo nacheza chini juu. Oh, please. Usiniharibie mood. Leo nasikia tu fiti. Leo staki umtiti. Oh, please. Usiniharibie mood. Ile umesikia kunihusu. Usiniambie tu pia kuhusu. Umeingia WhatsApp. Kuna nini WhatsApp? Umeingia WhatsApp. Uwe, usitume message ya ufala. Leo sitaki kuwa na mudu mbaya. Leo nasikia tu raha. Message ya ufala itashukishia sana. Kwanza vile leo kumenice mbaya. Usiniharibie muda. Mwenye nilipeleka mapepa. Wamepiga simu wamesema wana haya. So, oh, please. Usiniharibie muda. Leo nasikia tu fiti. Leo staki umtiti. Oh, please. Usiniharibie muda. Ile umesikia kunihusu. Usiniambie tu pia kuhusu.
Yes, and whatever you've heard about me, please don't come tell me. It doesn't concern me, neither does it concern you. Keep it to yourself because I don't want to hear it. And those are the vibrations that we are bringing you right here on the Pan African Bliss today. This is the Black Out Fire Network Media for the 21st century. Asanteni sana for being with us. And to today's broadcast, I can see the family is up and early. I want to appreciate you for being with us. And to today's particular broadcast, it is 11th of February. I hope this month is finding you at peace. And of course, the second week of this particular month, we want to appreciate you for being with us since the beginning of the week till now. I want to say asanteni sana. It is 24 minutes past 12 p.m. right here in the 254. I don't know about you, but do let us know through our social media handles on Facebook, that is on the Black Out Fire Network radio station, on Twitter on the Black Out Fire Network, and on Instagram as well on the Black Out Fire Network, as you get to tell us where are you streaming with us from and what is the time over there. And asanteni sana for being with us. That was Usiniharibie Mood with the one and only Major. It simply means, don't spoil my mood. It is on a Friday. We get into the weekend vibes, and it's just positivity, high vibrations all the way back to back. That is what we're giving you right here on the Black Out Fire Radio. Santini Sana, I go by the name Joby. For those who do not know me, in case you're joining us for the first time, kindly once again find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and also on Instagram, and tell us how are you feeling this particular day. How has this week been for you? For me, it has been super amazing. Lots of lessons. I learned that I'm not supposed to be walking down the aisle. The man is the one supposed to be walking down the aisle. I've learned a lot of things. Day by day we are learning something different. And of course, do remember that is what we are all about right here on the Black Out Fire Radio. We keep on saying one was born intelligent, because if you are born with intelligence, which we are, Africans are intelligent, but due to the indoctrination and everything that has happened, you find that most of us, do not know the history. And if we were really born with that intelligence, we would have, stood to our feet and taught Africans whatever we're supposed to be knowing today. But you find that right now we just, we consider like the dumbest people in the world, but that is totally a lie. Nonetheless, Karibuni sana once again. This is the Pan-African Bliss. My name is Joby. I go by the name Joby in case you're joining us for the first time. And I'm just right here to give you nothing but positive vibes. And as always, we have an amazing quote of the day, but this will be after this short musical break. And as I said yesterday, one thing that I'm really normalizing, I don't know, but I was saying, we were talking about discipline yesterday, and I tend to remember each and every quote that I read every day. Because I say, not only are we reading this quote to motivate you or to keep you going throughout the day, it also motivates us, the person who is reading as well, because it's supposed to make an impact in my life. So yesterday we were discussing about discipline, and when we were speaking of discipline, I said, normalize doing what you're not used to. Make that one thing that you're not used to doing. Normalize it. Even if you don't want to do it, do it. And me, one of the things that I don't like to do, and I once got admitted because of it, it is drinking water. So I said I'm trying so hard to normalize I'll drinking water. And there's a time I also did share that when we were in Tanzania, we were somehow like competing who could drink like lots of water. How many bottles of water have you drunk today? How many have you taken today? Just to keep you hydrated, and that is what it's all about. Positive vibes all the way. I hope that today you are at peace, and of course, as we look forward to give an amazing quote as I speak of discipline, normalizing what you're not used to. I'll be coming back with some amazing quote. For now, I want to play you an amazing jam. It is just one of my favorite, totally out of your playlist, and this is by the one and only MS Banks. She is a talented young lady. I bet she is 25, if I'm not really wrong, but I'll be giving you the total answers of how old she really is. But she is a talented young African, or I can say Black American lady, who is just singing rather to her best. I love her music personally, and I think she outdoes herself. So let me just find one jam of her. She goes by the name MS Banks, all the way from the UK to you right here on the Black on Fire Radio. Maybe if you can relate to the music and tell me how do you feel about it. She has done a collaboration with Steph London. Steph London is one of the Jamaican artists, right here in Africa, and she is also doing amazing when it comes to music. Of course, we know that most of them, they are somehow promoted. Rather, the music is almost somehow promoted. But let me play you this amazing jam. It goes by the name Novikop. For me, I love this one. I don't know why, I don't know what, but I just love this amazing jam. I hope that you also vibrate to the same.
Been bad, I ain't got a just. Boss chick, hood bitch, they be loving us. And them haters stay mad, I'ma give them dust. I don't give a fuck, yeah, you know what's up. Real niggas blasting me in the dance. Your baby daddy want my number, he ain't got a chance. The way I arch that back, put him in a trance. Tick gal, strong start. All my bitches on top, got paid by the pound. Talking ladder on smoke in the flesh, not a sound. How that way is so smooth, and that ass so round. We step up in the spot, make a nigga bow down. Wrist got drown. Bad and I'm brown. Give me my crown, I ain't got no bounds. 6 years deep, man, I put it from the ground. No, they didn't for me then, well, I bet it for me now. They already know we on top. And that shit will never stop. Took a nigga out to another cough, then I took him home just to eat the box. They already know we on top. And that shit will never stop. Took a nigga out to another cough, and I took him home. Yeah, I got that good food, nigga. Hella good, what can you do, nigga? You said it's big, I can make it bigger. I got that something for you after dinner. That's a sweet Kit Kat with the energy to match. Keep my body intact, don't cut me no slack. Niggas try and run game, they ain't got no time. All my bitches don't stuff, they gon' make that ass clap. Baby, make that ass clap. Oh, you like it like that? Said you like my something, now my something look fat. Oh, you got a foreign, you can hear it in the back. No cap, way I've been in the gym, I don't wanna go top. But baby, you can give me top. When you're feeling lonely, hit me up, give me the drop. I'ma pull up to the spot and make it hot. Yeah, they already know we on top. And that shit will never stop. Took a nigga out to another cough, and I took him home just to eat the box. They already know we on top. And that shit will never stop. Took a nigga out to another cough.
Hapo gardens tuko jaba, wengine wako miti, zetu ni majama, zenu pikipiki, leo tunaenda kana, beba zigi mengi, hakuna mamada, beba siku mengi, ni mimi hapo back left, paparazzi, wanaifanya ngumu kufanya usherati, nakumbuka kabla nifuge manati, nilikuwa na wakunywa na ile koloni ya Versace, squeeze backseat, ilikuwa love seat, smooth na manual unafikiria ni automatic, tinko window muadhara ndo atutaki, hapa perfection tunaifanya bila practice, mbele naona success, nafunga hat-trick. Mi ndo the chef kwa hicho itisha hapik. Tangu tuingie kwa hii mchezo si ndo heartbeat. Nairobi City tunairan kama athlete. Dance tusijali, hatukujaji. Hapo tu, hapo tu, hapo tu, hapo. Tusijali, hatukujaji. Hapo tu, hapo tu, hapo tu, hapo. Iseki hapo, ni kuhando. Alafu kamtutowe loka kia mlango. Ni kuingize ndani ya box kama balo. Julo siwezi kualikula tu kwa macho. Ambia bini man mepata kuinua dance. After leo utarudisha with salo. After leo na wacha armis na mavalo. Hauka kutisha fona kakukua na passport. Kitu kaini rea ichimbe ndo wipate. Mina nyash kwa hewa ni kama jet ya private. Vutia wateja ni kama wekwa magnet. Itatachwa teja hadi wa itane. Dance tusijali, hatukujali. Hapo tu, hapo tu, hapo tu.
Hey, that is by the one and only Nyashinsky and Chris Kaiga playing right here on the Black on Fire Radio Media for the 21st century. Do you remember I said it's nothing but positive vibes, vibes on vibes. And of course, we have the trolling people. You know, if you're not feeling the vibes, just get out of here. Why would you just waste your energy? You're coming to type here and you're trolling us. What's up with you? But we're not taking that bad energy today. And that was by the one and only Chris Kaiga and Nyashinsky. It goes by the name Hapo too. Just an amazing jam to keep you going on this amazing day as we get into the weekend. And I do not know the plans that you have for the weekend, but for me, what I can really say is normalize doing what you're not used to doing. That is one of the things that you were speaking about yesterday here when you talk about discipline, you know, normalizing things that you're not used to doing. And for me, I said I'm normalizing drinking lots and lots of water. I don't know about you, but whatever that you're not used to and you know it's healthy for you, try do it and avoid the things that you have been doing. And of course, I also get to play an amazing jam by the one and only MS Banks. And, you know, it goes by the name Novikok. She's an amazing, talented young lady. For me, I love her. I love her music. And I just love, you know, when they get to film on, you know, the journey they get to, you know, the experience of them being on the journey or rather in the industry. It's just so amazing. For me, I think it is just encouraging as a young person. And this relates to the quote of the day. When you speak of inspiration and the people who are inspiring you, you know, the quote of the day says, you will be surprised at who is watching your journey and being inspired by it. So don't give up. You will be surprised at who is watching your journey and being inspired by it. So don't give up. For me, I always tell myself that every day because do you remember, yes, just the other day I was speaking of 3 affirmations that I'm used to nowadays, and they just keep me going, you know, by telling myself first, I am enough, I have enough, and I'm doing enough. That is just okay with me, you know. I don't have to like do extra to feel like I'm enough or to present extra like to feel like I'm enough. I'm gonna give what I have, and this is just what I have, you know. Nothing but good vibes right here on the Pan African Bliss. I go by the name Joby. Once again, and asanteni sana for joining us and to today's broadcast. Today, I'm gonna be starting the, you know, broadcast with some amazing positive news. You know, every time we used to negative vibes all the time when you hear of the African continent, oh, this has happened, or we talk of corruption, this has done this, or who has done this, you know, this has stolen this, or money laundering and all that, Pandora papers. But today we start the mood with something different, and this is one of the things that we have been talking about, and I can see there's some actually motion being done on this particular one. We have been speaking of how Swahili can be made a continental language, especially right here in Africa. And right now in Ethiopia, they have introduced Swahili classes, and I'm just so happy about this. Personally, they have collaborated with Tanzania, and they're saying that the Addis Ababa University in Ethiopia will start teaching Swahili language after signing an agreement with the Tanzania University. And the language studies will be facilitated by the University of Dar es Salaam. I remember when we were in Tanzania, we saw the university. It's so pretty, so amazing. And they're saying the move comes days after the African Union adopted Swahili as an official working language. Swahili is spoken in several African countries, and UNESCO last year declared 7 July as the world's official day to celebrate the Swahili language. First, the fact that they brought the motion of Swahili language, for me, I think it is amazing. As much as we know, it is being done, you know, by these puppets, the so-called puppets, you know, the so-called, you know, the collaboration of the Mzungu and the African. There's always something in between, but for me, I'm just happy seeing that right now people can see the importance of Swahili, especially in our own continent. Good morning, Keith.
Good morning, Joby. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
It's early. I'm all right. And Swahili is an ancient language. It takes you back to Kemet.
Mm-hmm.
Kemet, if you don't know what Kemet is the land called Egypt up there, where black people used to rule thousands of years ago, who built
Mm-hmm.
those pyramids up there, and all that magnificent stuff you see in Egypt was built by Africans, not those people that are there now. Those are
Mm-hmm.
invaders to the land. Those are not the original civilization to the land. And shout out to Dr. Mumby. I should have said, I meant to send that to you guys. But Dr. Mumby's telling you, yes, like I told you guys, the black woman is first. Exactly. You're
Mm-hmm.
learning, Dr. Mumby. Exactly. So she put a video out, I think a day ago or a day and a half ago, to my black women rule women rule the planet.
Mm-hmm.
The original, yeah, the women rule the planet original because the black woman was the first one here.
Mm-hmm.
Not from any damn goopy rib you've been told by some dumb Bible. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lie. Black woman is first.
But for me, okay, for me, I'm just so excited first that Ethiopia. Of course, I know of. I never thought Ethiopia never speaks Swahili, but I know of like we have Kenya, we have Uganda, we have Tanzania, we have maybe some part of Rwanda and Burundi. We also have Congo. We have
Congo.
Zambia, Zimbabwe, and I think maybe Zambia. There's some and South Africa as well. There's some countries which I think do know some bits of Swahili. So I guess
They know
if they if
they
they
know a little
introduce
bit of it.
Mhm.
They know a little bit of it, but I said that should have been a national language to begin with because it's supposed to go back when black people were one before they started dividing into more and more fake tribes. That's why Swahili is an older language than the tribal language. Older, older language. So that
Yeah,
would
that's what
tell you that would
my
tell you
my
anthropology, that would tell you were once one. You start breaking off and creating other languages. Go ahead. Go
my
ahead.
my point is if they if you want to how do I say let these countries come together, rather if they want to come together and introduce Swahili as a as a subject, actually let it be mandatory in every country, especially right now, because we have a generation which is
It
upcoming.
should be. If it would, that would bring you unity. Exactly. I don't know what
If
the
they
hell Spike's talking about. Having 200 languages in one country is called confusion. It's nonsense. Don't nobody have that but Africa. That's why it's a confusion. Don't have no 200 languages. Nigeria has 200 languages. Cameroon has 180 languages. In a country, that's confusion. So yes, Swahili should have been implemented on Africa. That's why John Magufuli pushed that it be implemented. One of the few
Mhm,
non-puppets on the continent, that
mhm.
Swahili be in, instrument as one of the main languages of the continent. And I believe that. If you can speak to one another, then you can actually get rid of all the damn tribal shit.
Mhm.
Because you're speaking, no, you keep your tribal language, but you know Swahili. So
Mhm.
that allows you to be able to reconnect again, allows you to
Mhm.
have trade within Africa. It's a language that you can follow because it's African language. And it is an ancient language. Ancient. Swahili is ancient. Goes back 5,000 years. Ancient. That means your ancestors spoke that language.
Mhm. So my point is, I'm trying to say that if they were to introduce this language, other Swahili in every country in Africa, it's gonna be easy actually for people to study. Swahili is not a hard language. Trust you me. If you were to stay in Nairobi for like a period of like, or maybe in Tanzania, like a period of like let's say even 5 months, you'd
Of course,
already
you
be
would.
in
Yeah, of
Swahili.
course. You learn every language. You learn every language when you live at Joby. You got no choice. you got no, you got no choice. That's human nature. If you
Mhm,
live in Chinese, you learn that shit.
mhm.
Just by necessity of living there, you have to learn the language to communicate. You have no choice. And you just start picking up the words and learn
I
it.
can't
So yeah,
compare it with mother tongue, because I remember the first time I was taken to the remote areas, or to the up country, to the rural areas. I remember the first time I never knew any tribal language. I never knew, and up to date I try as much as I can to forget. Trust you me, I try avoid going to the remote areas because I don't want to try go speak all that. Instead, if they talk to me, I used to respond in Swahili, and people used to say I'm boasty. Oh, I don't want to learn mother tongue and all that. But due to me staying there for a
Swahili is your mother tongue. It's older than your older. See, if you knew your history, say this is the mother tongue, moron. This is older than the tribal language that you're telling me is mother tongue.
No,
So that means our ancestors spoke this before they broke off and started making up some other language. So this is the mother tongue, moron.
So
see, that's the ignorance of Africa now. You can't come at me with that dumb shit. Go ahead.
So I was really young, so I never knew what I know.
Of course, you didn't know. Exactly.
I couldn't defend myself in any way. So due to me staying there for a longer period of time, for like a year and two, I had to like learn mother tongue, because one, you're trying to respond in Swahili, they're going to force you to speak that mother tongue, whether you like it or not.
Of course, because they're not gonna respond to you speaking Swahili. Of course.
They're like, you can't just come home and you expect to go back to Nairobi without even knowing a word or two of Kikamba, of Luo or Kikuyu.
And listen, Joby, that causes the division. That keeps the tribal shit going on. You don't know your camera. That's completely redundant and retarded. Nationality. Julius Nyerere in Tanzania said, nope, Swahili's a language, and that's it. Everybody's gonna know Swahili, period. Because that would unify you, and not, oh, that's a different tribe. That language is that language. That's why every African country is destabilized. I can go in and put African against African, and I can take over the country. Because, oh, that's that tribal, that's that ethnic group. Ethnic groups are phony. When I go down to your DNA, you're the same people, you moron.
It has destroyed people, because I was saying right now, tribalism is being applied everywhere. And I wish there is a way, yes, even if we had this tribalism thing, I wish there was a way they could limit it, because sometimes it sucks so bad when you get into a matatu and all you can hear is Kikuyu, you're not even understanding anything, or maybe you hear Luo, and because the driver is a Luo, or maybe the conductor is a Luo, so they're going to put whatever they'll understand. They don't mind the rest of the passengers. So like, you're going to listen to this whether you like it or not. And if you want to question, someone is going to give you the look like, this is my car, so what can you do? This is my car. This is my car.
Then you can't. It means the country's divided. It means Kenya's not. As a teacher, you start to learn. You're very wise now. Kenya's not a real country. It's not a real country. You got too many languages spoken there. That's not even. It's disunified. I told you, white people go in Kenya anytime they want, like they do in Ethiopia, and break it apart. It's like they do in Nigeria, like they do in Ghana. Every African country can be completely destroyed, because I can put African against African, and just in the country alone, I can put you against each other because of the tribal shit. And the youth, and I will give the youth credit. The youth are starting to know that now. So this tribal shit doesn't work for us. It's not good. Go ahead.
Yeah, but somehow I think on the video that I shared, that you say that that guy was giving half lies, half truths. I think the one thing that I understood from the video, all this tribalism, not only have we grown up with, but also politically, it has also contributed a lot, because
of course he was right about that. I said he was right about that with all the tribal shit. Yeah, that means because you're always going to fight within the country. The country can't. He told you that Africa can never have real countries because you got too many ethnic groups in a country. You can't be a real country because you're not. You see yourself as a Kamba, a Lua, a Kakua, whatever the fuck all that goofy shit is.
It is crazy, let me tell you, it is crazy, because sometimes you wish you can tell someone, there's nothing that really annoys me. That is one of the things that really annoys me all the time. Someone approaches you.
I would give your girl Cressy a video from Miss Trudy about a year and a half ago saying the same thing. Said, no, this tribal shit is stupid. We don't need I think it's going to be the youth. We don't see the tribe. Our parents have misled us. She was going with them. Parents have misled us with all this tribal shit. Well, it ain't your parents. Your parents got it from their parents, got it from their parents. So it's going to be up to the youth to break out of it because it doesn't benefit you as you can't never unify even as Kenyan because you're not
Mhm.
Kenyan. You're your tribe first. So
There's
you're
no.
your tribe.
I was so impressed with Tanzania. Trust me, the only time we had someone speaking a different language, and of which he was mixing with Swahili, it was a certain time when I was getting my hair done, when after
Uh,
us getting to the house, after us getting to our house in Tanzania,
yeah.
that is, we got to interact with some people there. We made some friends over there within the compound. And I remember there was a guy who was there and he was making some serious phone calls and he's at work, but he's like, making some very serious phone calls for like 3 hours. I'm like, yo, so you just get done fast with me, then you can continue with your calls. That is the only time I got to hear a different language because I remember most of the times when we could get into a Uber or a cab with Niche, Niche trying to communicate with the Uber guys, they're like, I don't understand what he's saying. One thing, English is also a problem there, which is amazing.
Which
It's
is
also
good. I
yes,
know. I know, Joe, because that's where I go. So I know. Which is
yeah.
good. Which
Mhm.
is good. Because it means the Mzungu can't easily penetrate your society,
And I
which
remember
is good. Go ahead.
Mhm. I remember one of those times there was a guy we were interacting with, and we were, I don't know how we ended up having a conversation, but we were discussing on how the Mzungu has been benefiting from Africa. And it was like, yes, like you guys, before I got your call that you wanted to request a Uber, there's a lot of delays because the Mzungu is on this location a lot. Like he's earning like 60% of what you're supposed to be earning. And for us, we have to earn like less. There's how they control the system also,
Yeah.
even comes to the Uber application and all that, which is super, super crazy. Super, super crazy. And I remember there was one of the guys who was like, can you teach me to speak English? When we told him, you don't even need to learn English. Swahili is so amazing. You don't even need to learn this. Maybe for some purposes, but again, it's not even important as you think it is because they were impressed, they were impressed on how we were talking, but we were like, why are you being impressed? Well, we want to be impressed, when you're trying to speak your own Swahili. That is what we're trying. We're trying to even learn your own Swahili, which is so hard, but it's really cool. The African mind, and that's why I was speaking of the westernization yesterday. Right now, if you come, even if let's say you, Keith, you come here to Kenya, or maybe Niche, I work with Niche anywhere here, and I take them maybe to the remote areas. Trust me, people are gonna see you as gods because you're speaking English and your English is American, not like the African. This is
Yeah.
American English. People are gonna be looking at you like gods. Wow, Jesus is here. Now this is Jesus. You're speaking.
I know. I know. I know. Uh,
Jesus English.
which is which is a problem. This is really it is a capture of the African mind that
But
because I'm
mm,
speaking with an English accent. I know. I get like I told people years ago, like going to Ghana, Nigeria, they hear even though I'm not a white person, if it's my white, they'll run my ass over to get out the way to get to the white person. But hearing me speak English and it has an American accent,
mhm,
I get more respect. It's like,
mhm.
oh, he's an American black person. He's speaking the English. Like, and I didn't know that at first. Like, I said, what the fuck is going on? So,
Yeah.
so it is a devaluation of African people. You devalue yourself. That's what the European brought to devalue your culture, devalue your language,
And
devalue who you are.
I can say the problem is that also we Africans we have been embracing this because if for me, let's say I've been staying in Nairobi, then I go to the remote areas, just say hi to my people, maybe to just I go to maybe charity home, which is in the remote areas. I'll
Yeah,
try speak English, and because I know these kids will be impressed, I also, my heart is somehow warmed because they're impressed. Now the Africans will find instead of us even teaching the rest or rather even the younger kids Swahili first, we are super impressed by them being impressed by us that we know English. I don't know if you get what
of
I'm saying.
course.
You
I
know?
do know what you're saying. It makes you
Mhm.
feel good that they look up to you because you speak English. They're
Mhm.
impressed by your English. I
Mhm.
understand you, Joker.
Which is
Perfect.
great. which is totally crazy. But let me
Well,
move on.
it let you know that in Africa you value Western over you. That's why you worship white. You worship it, and you don't even know what you worship. You don't know how wicked, how evil, how backward, how fucked up they are. You got no clue.
Mhm. It's really crazy, but that is what is happening in Ethiopia. That was regarding the Swahili language, and I do hope that the continent can learn the importance of us learning Swahili. It's going to make actually everything easy, especially to the Mzungu, because the Mzungu is going to have a hard time the moment everyone learns Swahili.
That's
That
how
is
you want. Exactly. That's what you want. You don't want them freely being to understand you. That's another reason why Jesus want. Exactly. You don't want to make it easy, but that's why he puts his spies in there in Africa to understand. Because you speak his language. You got to speak French, English, or Portuguese. You know, you speak his language. If you go to Mozambique, you're speaking Portuguese. Go to where they stole my family out of, the Congo, Angola region. You're speaking either French or Portuguese in that area.
Mhm.
Put up in the Congo, you're speaking French, and Angola, you're speaking Portuguese. Guinea, Portuguese. But y'all speaking Portuguese, French, or English. Like I said, the Germans that have the country long enough, they were kicked out of Africa. So not really black people speaking German, but they would be.
Mhm.
But yeah, because actually Tanzania was a German holding before they lost in World War One, and they were given Tanzania to the British after they lost the war, World War One. And that's the reason for the Second World War, because they lost their African holding. They lost Namibia, they lost Tanzania, whatever colonies Germany had in Africa. But
But for me, I'm happy. I'm really happy for Ethiopia. And I can just say, I hope the rest of the countries in Africa can also collaborate with Tanzania.
that's not for
I think,
Ethiopia. The AU is supposed to be for all of Africa. It's not Ethiopian. It's just the African Union is in Ethiopia. That's nothing to do with Ethiopia. It's just that African Union. And I never agreed with them putting the African Union in Ethiopia. Those motherfuckers don't want to be black. And shout out to Murphy Danford, who told everybody now it's all coming out. I told y'all when I was there with these fake fucking Ethiopians, who not even Ethiopians, these white looking motherfuckers up there. I told y'all. Murphy Danford told you when he's living there and he's black, calling all kind of racial slurs, calling him nigger and all slave. I told y'all about these people. And that's about they changed their name. Because these mixed, the ones you see that on the airlines, they all mixed. Ethiopian meant black. These people ain't black. And they don't want to be black and don't call themselves black. That's why I told you they got them in America and they now coming out saying they're not black. They don't like black people. I told y'all that. Told y'all that. Been told y'all. I thought I was crazy. It's all coming out. So I told you motherfuckers that these people don't identify with being African. And they hate African people. And they stole the name Ethiopia to try to claim the history because those motherfuckers are becoming white. They're not ancient Ethiopians. That place was called Abyssinia. So that's why they know it's so important, family, that you know real history, not Bible shit. Because they're trying to make those have white people be the people in the Bible. But they're not.
My point is on the educational level. I was just saying that I think it's best if the rest of the African countries made a collaboration still with Tanzania, because I think so. Tanzania is the best country to learn Swahili from. I can't advise Kenya. I can't refer to Kenya because for us we have a lot of slang in it. Ours is quite different. Totally different.
Because of this, the space and distance and things, because of the environment. So Tanzania is the more pure form of it, yes. It's the more pure form of it. But exactly. But you're right, it's the more pure form of it. But if your Swahili is different because of time and distance. And there was a border put there. The Swahili would have been more of the same if you didn't have a fake border. That border causes people not to be able to travel back and forth. So everything would take on its own characteristics because you're cut off from each other. So that's why they have. That's why your Swahili is different than Ugandans. Ugandans is different than Congolese because of those fake borders that the cracker put in. That would cut you off. And so that would make you your own ecosystem where you would start changing things around. Just like I said, the people coming out of, there wasn't no Kenya then. The people coming out of what's called Kenya today are in Swaziland. And I'm sure their language is completely different being gone from when they left. When they left Mount Kenya region. About 40 years ago. 40 years ago when they walked from Mount Kenya down to South Africa as a tribal people and set up a kingdom down there. So those are still the same people. They wouldn't call themselves Kenyans because there was no Kenya. Kenya didn't exist. There was no fucking Kenya. But that's the same. But that's the region they came from. You know, that was the area where the Eswatinians or Swaziland, the South Africans right in that area, came from the Mount Kenyan region.
Mm-hmm.
They know that. They know that history themselves. They know that. They know they came from the Mount Kenyan region. They tell you about it.
Well,
they know where they came from.
I'm happy for Ethiopia, but let me move on to other different matters of the day, and this is regarding Nigeria. There's a time, I don't know if you guys remember, we were speaking about it on the Rhythm Scoop show, and you know, I think this is also one of the things that has destroyed the African image, you know, the fact that, you know, oh, Africa has juju coming from Nigeria, or if you go, actually, when you came back to from Tanzania, remember there were some people who asked us, okay, have you brought us any juju? Have you brought us any witchcraft from there? I'm like, okay, so Tanzania that is what you know. That is what you know Tanzania for, ritual.
Somebody asked you, yeah, they know witchcraft. Tanzania got the real shamans. Ain't no witchcraft because you're a moron. You white people told you witchcraft. That came from white people. That was never in your culture. You might have some real shamans doing real African science. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I can say General Mosquito, but hi, General Mosquito. So someone asked me, you know, have you come with any ritual? Like, that is what you know Tanzania for. So I didn't even want to argue with them or anything. So it just went my way. But right now in Nigeria, they have also banned the film featuring the ritual killings, because me growing up, I've known Nigerian. Even if I were to be asked by anyone what is Nigerian best? Juju, I'll say juju. You know, they're best in witchcraft. You see in every movie witchcraft. Someone has died because of witchcraft. You know, a land has been taken, witchcraft. Someone has done this, witchcraft. But right now, the parliament has come forth and said that there will be no longer any film which will be featuring the ritual killings. And they're saying that the minority leader, Toby, was blamed the vice of Nollywood on films with storyline.
And I agree because that was showing African and ignorant light. You gotta watch your image. And white people already destroyed your image. Why would you put out some dumb shit like that? That's what I told you. I can't watch that Nollywood shit. It's debased. It's stupid. I can't watch none of that. That shit's unwatchable. The movies, I don't care what the movies are horrible. I said, this ignorant ass shit. How the hell you got an old industry and all this shit is ignorant shit? Go ahead.
I remember me growing up. So when the guy asked me about the juju from Tanzania, I related because one, when we were growing up, personally, when you know my times when I was growing up, the trending films that were on those days, leave alone the Rambo, Chuck Norris, you know of Chuck Norris, right? Leave alone the action movies, leave alone of this.
I know who?
Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris, you talking about the racist ass cracker? Yeah, Chuck Norris non-fighting ass, that fake phony cracker.
Chuck Norris and all the wrestling. Now we have the main focus in Africa, which was Nollywood, and I think in Tanzania it's Bollywood. I don't know how they call it, but in Tanzania I think maybe they banned the whole thing. They also started the same film. We had the one we were talking about some time back in 2021, which was called Shumileta, where someone just appears, disappears. It is fire, then it's smoke, you know, out of just nowhere.
The African mind is a child. Hey, moron, that superstition, you look, it's a movie. And you got the mind of it. That's why we can be the African mind is so far down as a child. Somebody disappeared, then they came back, disappeared. It's the juju man. Okay, stupid. Okay, whatever. You know, but you should not have an industry that destroys your image. What the fuck are you doing? You wouldn't have. You don't have white people destroying the image. Them movies, they superheroes and conquering the world. You got some ignorant ass juju shit going on. Oh, more ignorant nonsense. That's why I can't look at that Nigerian shit. It's so fucking stupid.
No,
It's light skin. It's light skinned. Look at me. I'm a light skinned woman with a fucked up white woman's wig. The wig always be fucked up. We be always light skin against dark skin shit. Like, I can't watch this garbage.
Actually, that's what I'm saying. I think in Tanzania it was banned. Now in Nigeria it became like now a trend where if they release any movie which includes witchcraft and all this ritual, it is going viral and all. But
Yeah,
also
because they know that people watch it because it's base entertainment.
it's promoted a lot when it comes now when you speak of the light skin, because I think at that time is when you could see, or if you want to become a movie star, you must be a light skin, you know. If you want to do this, you must
that I just told you that's how the Europeans destroy the African mind. You got people in Africa tell you not supposed to even be black to be in a movie. You're supposed to be light skinned or mulatto or all these crazy. Listen, that shit, your mind is fucked up. You don't even know what melanin is, you fucking moron.
It is really crazy. But I can see Sister Janet in the building. You're saying hi to Jerome Mosquito, to me, and to Keith. Hope you're doing great. You're saying you're listening as you make coffee. Asante sana for being with us at today's broadcast. I can just say the African people need to do research and change their mentality, because everything, the westernization, the indoctrination, it's not only the
Africa's been caught in poverty, and just like Temple told you, research is expensive. If I'm impoverished, I'm worried about my next meal, not about research and shit. I don't know what's a lot, what's not a lot. I'm worried about my next meal. So when you're in poverty,
important. Right now, being honest, before I do anything or before I say a word or before I post anything and there's a word I'm not understanding, I always go and research on Google and look if it's really making sense or not, because
you
I
are
think
doing that, and that's great.
I've been enough, where you just find it, you bump into something, or because someone has posted something, or you want to post for the sake of it's social media, you don't even know what the energy you're giving into this particular even post.
That's true.
We need to really change
everything is energy, Joby. That's right. Everything's your energy. Does this deserve my energy or not?
Mm-hmm. We need to change the things we're not used to. I was speaking of discipline yesterday, normalizing doing things that you're not used to. Even if you don't want to do it, you must do it. But I'm happy that Nigeria has made this particular pass. And this, I hope, the image of Africa, it has been destroyed already. But at least with all this, it can reduce all this. Seeing Africa that it is full of ritual. Or if you go to Nigeria, you can get juju. You can have the best business in the world.
They had me scared. But check this out. They had me scared for years. Now understand, African growing up, that shit scared the hell out of me. You guys call it juju, but in North Africa we call it voodoo. So that shit used to scare the kid. They put on TV, all scared. That shit just scared the fuck out of me. I know that African shit. So that had me thinking we was evil and all that, not understanding. It's about vibration and frequency. It's science. I didn't know that white man, these niggas with the voodoo and putting their curses on people. I'm like, oh my God, that shit is scary as hell. The voodoo. That shit, propaganda is real. So I grew up looking at movies showing Africans do voodoo. It scared the shit out my ass. until I knew what it was. Mm-hmm. I said, this shit is ingenious. This is about vibration, frequency, and energy. This is some science. This wicked ass cracker, boy, this propaganda. I should be scared as hell of that real juju and voodoo and not understand the science. Man, African people, you are some brilliant motherfuckers, boy. You have my God. I said, God, that's what this shit means. Mm-hmm. This is the most brilliant shit in the world. It had me scared as hell of that shit. Oh no, not the voodoo. I said, get Jesus, Jesus, please save me from these dirty niggas. Jesus, where you at? Wrap me in your heavenly blood, Jesus. So,
No, it's like today. I'm telling you, if you come, if I don't know, at least you have the experience. I don't know the family, the rest of the family, if they've had the experience of traveling to the rest of the African countries. If you come to every country, it has its own, its own craziness. For you, you face the terms of tribalism. One, that is the first thing you faced when you landed to, to was it in Ghana? You said in Ghana or Nigeria, where you face tribalism. The first thing you
I
asked.
faced it everywhere, Joe. Everywhere I went. I just told you the story that I was in Ghana. I faced it everywhere. I faced it when I was in Nigeria. I faced it when I was in Ghana. I faced it when I was in goddamn. I faced it in every country I went into, except for Tanzania. But see, like yesterday when Katie, I was on the phone. I was on with Katie, and my brother called me while I was on the show with Katie. My brother's a coon. He don't want nothing to do with Africa. Africa. I'm not going no goddamn Africa. You crazy shit. Them other child soldiers, people died. He believes the propaganda. Both my brothers are coon. So when he called in, and Katie said he looked like me, yes, Katie looks like me. Of course, he's a darker version of me. That's why you got light skin and dark skin in every family. He's a darker version of me. You know, same mother, same father. He's just a dark. He's more the complexion of my father. I'm more the complexion of my mother. So he's a little darker than I am. But he's a coon. He won't have nothing to do because Katie said, why doesn't come to Tanzania? My brother's not coming to Tanzania. Shit. My brother's never coming to Africa. Ever.
I can tell the family, if you're looking forward to come down here, expect for Tanzania. That is an amazing country, to put any negativity on it. But if you're looking forward to come to Kenya, first thing, if you're boarding a matatu, be ready to hear the Jesus psychosis, because one, there are preachers on every matatu. Do you know that? Do you know that?
I didn't know that, but Joby, the Jesus psychosis is all throughout Africa, sweetheart. That's just, it's where Kenya's bad, Joby. But Kenya's not as worse as Ghana or Nigeria with that shit. Kenya's bad, but Ghana and Nigeria even worse with that shit. They're even worse. If you can imagine 10 times worse than Kenya, that's Ghana and that's Nigeria. Good God.
It's really crazy. But I know there's a story Kate was giving me the other day. When she was coming to work, she bumped into the matatu she boarded. There was this person who was there. Then there was a drunk guy who was also on the bus. Stop preaching to us. What are you telling us? You're telling us nothing but lies. And it was, drunk men, somehow they see the reality in these people. But again, it is just crazy that you have to bump into. Even when today I was coming to work, I bumped into the same thing. Which was Jesus and everything. Jesus. Yeah. Praise God. Crazy, I tell you. But in Nigeria, I'm just so happy that they have done that, and the image of Africa can be restored once again. But moving on to other different matters of the day, which is our main focus, I wanted to talk about, the terms of corruption.
Exactly right, Jim Mosquito. Exactly right. Yep. Pink Jesus has got them messed up. You ain't never lied. They ever in Ghana with that shit. Oh my God, I can't walk down the street in Ghana. Brother, do you know Jesus? Hey. I know to knock you in your mouth if you don't get away from me with that shit.
Me, when I see them, I always put my earbuds on, listen to music. I
Sister Joby, do you know the Lord? Do you know the right way of the Lord?
Please go save yourself first before you come save me. And you want to take money from me? That is what you want, nothing else. You always want money.
And the funny, why isn't Jesus giving them money? Tell Jesus to give you. Okay, tell Jesus to give you money. I don't got no money. Go ahead, Joby.
They say Jesus is rich, so yeah, he should be the one giving them money, not me. Not
Exactly. That's what you say, Joby. Say, get Jesus to give you money. I'm God. Get Jesus to get. You preaching for Jesus. Tell Jesus to give you some shillings. I'm good. Okay.
Which reminded me, there's a time when I used to, like, I was going through some difficult time. Then I boarded a matatu. Then the same pastors, he was there preaching, and he was like, if this word of God has touched you somewhere in your soul, give me $100 or $10. Then you're going to be blessed. You're going to see the best of your best. I remember I had $5 and I gave it to him. Because I had a bad day. So I was like, maybe God is going to change my day because I just had a terrible day.
So giving him money, that's how fucked up that's how the mother having them giving him money is gonna get some Jesus to give you to make your day. Family, understand this. He all vibrates too high. He all has nothing to do with you. You ought to all is creator's not giving you helping your day because you gave some goopy Negro $5.
Man, it is crazy. They're very convincing. Trust me. Very sweet words, and they're like, I want you to get to where you're going very safely. Jesus is guiding you. Oh please. Nowadays, earbuds on my ears, and just preach after you're done, you're gonna get out. I'm not. No. But moving on to other matters of the day, family wanted to discuss about Tanzania and the matters of corruption. We did get to see Magufuli. He made a lot of changes, and we have been into Tanzania. We shared the journey with you, family, and of course, we heard of people speaking of how there's less corruption in Tanzania. There's less of bribe in Tanzania. There's a lot of things than what we do right here in Kenya. So one of the things that right now is about to change, of course, Samia Suluhu, she's an appointed puppet who is there to make this country totally a different one. Magufuli did ban some particular media houses, and this was because of the lies that are being spread in the media.
Exactly, Joby. He closed down the white houses the media that would tell lies about Tanzania and Africa. He told them to stop telling lies about the COVID shit. He shut it down. But since she's a puppet by the white people, I'm letting it all happen, and all the crazy shit about Africa will be told. These Africans are dirty and poor and savages.
But right now, when you speak of, sometimes I don't want to say Tanzania, most of them, I don't want to say Tanzania is corrupt, but in Africa generally, we have been taught corruption in such a way. Now we're used to it because the stations that were closed, they went ahead and protested about this particular matter, and Samia Suluhu has now reopened the same media houses. Now the same lies that were trying to be avoided, they're going to start spreading around, and the country might even be messed up. Totally.
Of course, the Europeans been waiting for 60 years to get Tanzania. Since Jews never got, they've been waiting bated breath to get the country because it's full of resources. She's gonna get one of the most wickedest crackers, Tony Blair from Britain. His cracker is wicked. He's one of the main people sponsored by the New World Order, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, who's behind this big Ugali. This is one of the most wickedest crackers ever. So he's gonna be my personal assistant for Tanzania. You like what? She knows her people don't know who the fuck he is. He's like, wow, this bitch. Wow, if you don't know that this bitch is a puppet, you just got the golden seal when she said Tony Blair. When she said she's bringing in Tony Blair, oh my God, you talking about Illuminati New World Order shit. Tanzania, hold your hat, get rid of this broad. She got to go with the quickness. Because they're going to try to destroy the country. But I'm glad you guys are too unified right now for the be there long enough to do any real damage. She's going to try to do as much damage as they can. Because anybody can go research Tony Blair, wicked ass, the death and destruction this cracker has done in Africa. From Nigeria to Ghana to, this wicked ass cracker here when he was Prime Minister of Britain. This cracker is wicked.
Well, I don't know what is the next move that Samia Suluhu is just about to do, because once we saw that she started taking the loans, that is one of the things that she has done. Though as much as I had the Tanzanians say that she has used the loan in a safe way, because she was building a certain railway which will be connecting straight from Tanzania to Mombasa, which is quite amazing. But where is the rest of the money? Where is she funding the rest of the money? Because if she's not pocketing it and
But she,
not making
what was she building from Mombasa to what now?
a railway.
Okay, well that she can fund that herself. Don't have to take
Mhm.
loans. Have to take loans. You got all that shit in Tanzania that John Magufuli built from the massive new bus stations, the new
Mhm.
the new train station that's being built over there, still being
Mhm.
under construction. Look, all that was paid by the Tanzanians. They're not
Mhm.
taking any loan and be in debt. See, the whole thing is that you'll be a debt slave. They can start coming stealing shit out the country. Oh, you owe us money. Now give us some of your resources. See, this lady is a puppet to do all the same shit these other African puppets do. That's what you see being done.
It is
And they
crazy.
get,
But also, mhm.
but
I was looking for the video where remember there's one you say that he was saying, the one he had a speech on saying no to loans. But I bumped into one that he also
yeah.
even mentioned, where people are lacking water, and the contractor had received 800 million. So this guy was very keen, even with everything that was happening in the country. I like most of the leaders we have here in the continent. Many of the leaders, when you hear even the money has disappeared, is most of them were pocketed. But for him, most of the videos I'm seeing of him is nothing
Because
but.
he cared about African people, Joby. He one of the few ones that they don't know how like they said, they don't know how he slipped in and got in there. How Tanzania always didn't have puppets. He's not a puppet. That's why you never seen him when all these Africans were running around going to these African summits. The only
Mhm.
president that wasn't there was who? John Magufuli. He didn't go to the UN. He didn't go to China. He didn't go to Japan. He didn't go to Europe. All these fake summits, these boot-looking ass puppets went to, because he wasn't a puppet. He said, "Why go there?" He told you the UN, when they get there, they laugh at these African leaders. They know they're not leaders, Joby. Don't look
Mhm.
at any African leader at the UN. They get laughed at. People leave. This motherfucking moron talking. He ain't got no power. Listen, this idiot, who gives a fuck what he's saying? And that's what
Exactly.
they do.
Mhm. They have done what they had to do, and finally they have gotten the country, because right now they have put whoever they have been wanting to put in the seat. They've finally gotten the country, and it's either the Tanzanian people are going to fight, rather maintain their country the way it's supposed to be maintained, or they're going to allow all these matters to arise day by
I think
day, because.
they gonna get rid of her. Joby, Tanzania's not used to having a corrupt leader like this bitch. They're gonna get rid of her. Because the
Yeah.
country's not like the rest of Africa. It was
Mhm.
actually run well. So
Mhm.
when a country's run well, you have an actual leader that actually cares about you, cares that cares that your education, cares about you, not just up there giving dumb speeches. That's why you see all the puppets had to go against him, like Kenyatta, the 70, all these puppets were talking against him and what he was doing, because he was an actual leader. That's why when he died, around the world,
Mhm.
African people globally, not just in Tanzania, globally, cried
Mhm.
for John Magufuli, from Jamaica to Haiti to Colombia to Brazil. Black people globally cried for him.
People are hurt. Up to date, I think people are still hurt, because most of the people are speaking of Magufuli a lot. So much positivity being spoken about this man. But let me just play this video. I hear what he was speaking before we come
Yeah,
to the end.
that's why they killed his ass. They
Mhm.
murdered him. I told
Let-
Spice they were gonna murder him. I said they're gonna kill him. They gonna murder him because he was doing shit for African people. They gotta
Mhm.
murder him. He's an outlier, Joe. But he said, well, damn.
Mhm.
He's People start focusing on Tanzania. They knew all these other African leaders were corrupt. He said, oh, I said, that's why he never ate out. He knew they were gonna come to kill him.
Mhm.
He showed you how
Let-
Africans are not stupid. How they can really govern if they get all the resources and help the people. That's a no-no. These leaders are not supposed to help African people, and they don't. But go ahead, bro. You go ahead, play, Joker.
Marahaba, ujambo. Niko kwenye kijiji hapa kinaitwa Kidodi. Kijiji gani? Kidodi. Niko kwenye kijiji cha Kidodi, jirani na Mikumi. Wana mradi wa maji.
You got to translate this, Joker. We don't speak Swahili, damn it. What's wrong with you?
Okay, so he went ahead and even called the contractor who was supposed to ensure people have water here and asked him what's the issue. Why don't people have water? They are complaining they don't have water. This is so amazing. I wish we had the same every day in our country, but we can't, man. We have some so-called.
Yeah, because the country was set up by the country was set up, Joe, to be a thiefdom. Kenya was set up. They put Jumbo and Jomo Kenyatta in power to be a thiefdom, but they don't give a shit. That's Tanzania the outlier. So that's how all Africans fucked up like Kenya, Joey. Not just Kenya, Cameroon, Nigeria, Ghana. It's all the same. That's why Soon.Maghufuli was so loved, because he had a leader, it was an actual leader, who cared about African people. That's why he never spoke in English. He said, no, we're going to speak Swahili. He knew English. He knew how to speak English. He never spoke that shit. That's why he's still speaking Swahili. He never spoke English. He said, fuck that. Fuck that English shit. That makes white people mad too. He was speaking Swahili.
Well, I hope.
So he would always come and say, okay, these people don't have what you doing. What's corruption? You know he fired most of the parliament. He went and fired their ass. He said, you're corrupt, you're fired, you're gone. Get your shit, you're out of here. He came and just started firing the shit out of people. Said, you're corrupt, you're fired. And then he reduced their salaries. He said, you're making too much money, the people don't got no money. If you want to work here, half the salary. That money's going back to the people. Or we're going to use that money to fund projects. We ain't taking no damn loans. We're going to use that money to fund projects. That's going to benefit the people.
I just do hope Tanzania people will wake up before it's too late and a lot of damages.
I think they know she's a puppet. I think they know.
I hope they wake up, because these are just civilian people who just go ahead and ask. Rather, they protest a little bit because of the media that were closed when Magufuli was there. Then right now, she has reopened them. Lord knows what will happen. The lies again, and people will start, and more people will want more, what was not being given access to. So I just hope that people are going to see the reality in all this and wake up. Well, we are coming to the end of today's broadcast. We have covered a lot, and I hope that Nigeria...
Do me a favor, Joe, before we leave. Show, go to YouTube and say, people run after Soon.Maghufuli's casket. You never see nobody say, the people run after Soon.Maghufuli's casket. Everybody was running after when they were going to bury him, and now the people cry. But this was global. Ain't nobody going to cry when Kenyatta dies. Ain't nobody going to cry when fucking Buhari or Museveni dies. They're going to cheer. Thank God these rotten bastards did. Fucking Museveni and Kofi Adada and all these other fucking puppets. When Ramaphosa dies, ain't nobody going to cry when these puppets die.
Who cried? Let me just share the video.
Yeah. And this wasn't just Tanzania. Understand this was global. You had people in Brazil crying, people in Colombia. You had the African world crying when this man was murdered last year. Yeah.
He died suddenly last week.
Yes, suddenly. Yeah, he was murdered.
Failure. But an opposition leader claimed the cause of death was COVID. He was a great leader.
Wasn't no COVID. They're trying to say he died of COVID. Oh, look at him, he died of COVID because he was against the COVID. And we know that he was right.
Such as Kwame Nkrumah, his leadership really helped us to have self-confidence as Africans. I managed today to pay my last respects to my late
The
president.
opposition coon.
Pain for losing him. But we have to thank God for everything, especially during this hard time. We shall always remember him for all the good things he did for our great nation. Many at the funeral were quick to repeat official comments that he had died from heart failure, calling claims of his death being caused by COVID street rumors.
And look at this.
He was falling out.
Members of the public can pay their respects for one day as his body lies in state at the Uhuru Stadium after government officials did so on Saturday.
Ain't nobody cry when no fucking the 70 died. I'm like, yeah, somebody bury this nigga. Get him out of here.
Man, people are even collapsing.
He will be buried on March 26th in his home village of Chat.
This was a tough one. You can see people collapsing because of the incident. No one was believing what was happening in the country. And
Yeah,
now he
because
just died.
because he murdered. He was never sick. Now all of a sudden he just died because they murdered him. Everybody knows they murdered.
It was in less than 24 hours. He died in less than 24 hours because I remember they just reported he was in the hospital. Then all of a sudden he just died.
Yeah, he was missing. And somebody might have been in Kenya. Why the fuck would he go to Kenya? Go to hospital? Hospitals in Tanzania, all kind of crap. He died of COVID because his stance against COVID, which we know is a lie. They put that the Rockefeller and Rothschild owned media in Kenya and in Africa. Oh, he died of COVID, which is a lie. They murdered him.
It's crazy.
And they knew they were coming for him. I said, even Dr. Mummy said he's a marked man. He's a marked man in Africa. Now, Mateo killed him. The clergy killed his ass. Because he was too close to them church niggas. Don't understand the church is your enemy, African people. Those are your main spies. Those are your main ones. The Catholic Church, the wicked ass church, killed his ass.
And I can see Janet is saying that Magufuli set a standard of what a true leader should be. I totally agree.
So it could happen. Exactly right, Janet. And that's a no-no. That's a no-no in Africa. That you have a real leader that shows you what leadership can be. That's a no. Crackers go on alert. Oh, hell, he got to go. He got to go. He got to go.
Gerald Mosquito, I'm not crying. Gerald Mosquito is saying, Joby, don't start crying, lol. I'm not crying. Oh, like, not anytime soon. But family, we're coming to the end of today's broadcast. Thank you, Keith.
Much love. That Joby Lee, she got to go get this. Joby's got to go get this chicken.
I gotta come and press my lips right now. But much love, family. Thank you, Janet.
And you know how Joby loves. Joby loves chicken. I think Joby loves chicken more than she loves ugali.
Nah, I love chicken and ugali. That is a no-no. But much love, family. Thank you, Dampo, for joining us, and to the rest of the family who have been watching us. Thank you.
You guys join Kate in about 15 minutes. Katie been over there, with her bad dance moves.
Much love, family. And thank you, Keith, as well, for joining me on today's broadcast. Have an amazing rest of your day.
And big ups to me, I never hear.